Hey everyone, Razzbowski here, and welcome back to another Theory Thursday. The gang is back together, baby, because baby has been revealed on ScottGames.com, so the crew is all back together to discuss the theories, because, well, we thought, why not get the gang back together? And who is that gang?
We have Ryan.
Other Ryan.
Dorko.
Yeah. And we're going to discuss all of the theories. The lore is juicy, the teasers are flowing, and it's time to get into the good stuff. Baby?
Yeah.
I'd say so.
So first of all, obviously, how do we know this new animatronic on ScottGames.com is actually baby?
Yeah.
Well, the main thing goes back to the ending for Five Nights at Freddy's World Update 2. Now, spoilers.
Yeah,
if
big
you haven't
spoilers.
if you haven't seen Update 2 yet, look away or turn away or disappear because the ending right now is going to be spoiled for you.
The show will begin momentarily. Everyone, please stay in your seats.
Yeah, I mean, there's like so much to do with the ending of Five Nights at Freddy's World Update 2. And it's actually really interesting because for me, that game was like, I mean, FNAF World was like its own side story. It didn't really add to like the realm, but now it seems like almost, because it's like another dimension, it's almost like adding to like the same storyline, but in a different style. And kind of the way the whole thing ends, it's like an important quote that we get where it says, "Everyone please remain seated," if I remember correctly, which is something very similar to that, which is, if you go on Scott Games, it says, "Everyone please stay in your seats" as well.
Yeah, obviously FNAF World Update 2 is all about these crazy little spin-off games like, you know, Chica's Magic Rainbow that everyone seemed to love, and, you know, Foxy's .exe, and it's kind of like he put in Sister Location as if that was another crazy spin-off game.
Yes.
Obviously the ending says, like, you know, it's too late, you can't stop this from being made, pretty much. And like the way it ends is very morbid as well. And like you say, the reason it links to this picture obviously is on ScottGames.com. It says, "Everyone please stay in your seats," and obviously the voiceover that we get in the update 2 is the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And you also get the man. He actually says her name is Baby.
Yes.
Is that the exact quote? Her name is Baby.
Very similar, yeah.
So, I mean, that immediately, that with the voiceover quote, and that's it. I don't see what else it could be. And Baby, if you're going from a gender perspective for the name Baby, a lot of gentlemen like to call their ladies Baby. So if it's in that sense of the word, which it seems to be, because it doesn't seem like a child animatronic. It seems like a baby. It's a fully grown Harlequin style female. That is the teaser on ScottGames.com. So there, with those little bits of evidence together, it like 9 out of 10% certain. 9 out of 10%? That is terrible. 99% certain this new animatronic is Baby. I know a lot of people have said in the comment section, how do you know it is Baby? Here's the evidence.
You're only 99%, because I'm 100%. Like,
yeah, I'm 100%.
This is pretty much fact as far as I'm concerned now.
Yeah. Without Scott going, here it is, then it's never 100%. But like
he does like to throw spanners in the works.
We also know that the baby character in the FNAF World Update 2 is really, really important.
Yes.
Why would Scott, for the Sister Location, tease a different animatronic instead of the main character? You know,
absolutely.
It seems pretty obvious that this animatronic is the main gal.
The new Scary, the new Freddy, the new leader.
And it is scary.
It's
terrifying.
I mean, for God's sake, if we look at the end of the game, it seems like, I mean, we see like the screen flashing, and then the guy's dead, isn't he? And then we've got the we've got the eyes in the corner. And if you remember back as well to like the very first part of the update to a FNAF World, there's like a sequence where Fredbear actually says, if I remember correctly, it's something about everyone is on edge about what the creator is making. And so, I don't know, just combining the two together, it shows that Baby's a really, really significant and strong character.
Very scary.
Definitely.
And she bloody killed the desk man.
Yes, the creator, man. I mean, like,
desk man.
That's like the freaking ruler of the place as well, isn't it? Because you know, we like go to him for everything, and Fredbear knows about him, so it's like, what is going on?
Yeah, exactly.
He did seem depressed in all these little updates he had, and for good reason. There's this horrible animatronic looming over him, ready to pounce.
Yeah. More on that as well, guys, towards the end, because we are going to be talking about update 3, but we don't want to get too sidetracked with that, excuse me, because there's a lot to cover in regards to this image alone. But guys, stick around for the end, and you'll see update 3 being discussed in depth. Okay, guys, so let's move on to another segment, and this one is probably going to be a bit more towards the actual Sister Location game, rather than the actual update 3. As I've said, we're going to be discussing that at the end. But let's not get sidetracked again. So, on this newest teaser, we've got a much more wider scale picture of what this character looks like. It's looking to be a lot more of a freaky character, and I'll let you guys discuss it, and I'll put my 2 cents in at the end.
Well, what can we really say? I mean, the name Baby kind of suggests that the age of this character, maybe it's a smaller animatronic.
Oh, Raz was just saying that he thinks it might be like a female, you see, because I thought the same thing too, because like the main thing that's been punching, I've just jumped straight in. I was like, I'll be at the end. Sorry guys, like, I've got to get this out now. Like the main thing that got my attention was if you actually look at the bodily shape, the hand's kind of like this, but the elbow's not really like out of shot. I think this animatronic's the same size as Balloon Boy. I really do.
Oh.
Well, see, loads of people are saying that this animatronic reminds them of Harley Quinn from Batman.
Yeah.
It's got that kind of vibe to it, so I think like it's going to be. She's wearing like a kind of, I don't know. See, it looks like a jester hat, but it's her hair, isn't it? You can tell it's like a side ponytail. And side ponytail coming off. So I don't know. It's crazy. She looks freaking horrible.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something that you said it's gonna be quite small.
Yeah, go on.
We think it's a spring suit. So I don't know whether like a dwarf's gonna be in that costume or something.
I'm convinced these are nothing to do with like springs. I don't know. I'm literally convinced that this is going to be a small animatronic. I mean, the fact it's called Baby, and I'll let Raz raise the point about teeth because it was a really interesting one just before we recorded.
Yeah, that's it. It is deceptive because of the shot. Obviously, you've got the face on. It's very, very close-up image. But if you have a look at the teeth, they're not big like the original animatronics' teeth. If you have a look at Bonnie or Freddy or that, their teeth are big, they're wide, they're fat. And the bottom row, there's only 2 teeth.
Yes.
So that's a stereotypical way of depicting a baby or a child as having some teeth missing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or a meth addict. That's another one. But this animatronic isn't a meth addict. They're all small teeth. They're all baby size, very, very tiny little teeth, all spaced very, very closely together.
Yes.
We obviously can't check the proportions of everything, but we can see the proportions of the teeth.
Yes.
That is one thing. It's obviously not an infant, like a tiny little newborn baby, because it's got like the long flowing hair, which is interesting. But I do like your idea of a Balloon Boy sized animatronic. The only thing that leads me to believe that it's not is what Lewis was saying. It's got the 5 fingers.
Okay.
Which usually depicts in Scott's world of animatronics is that it's a spring lock suit. And if you have a look at it, it does look like it can come apart. Whether that's for jump scare purposes, because you have a look down the middle of the face, it's got the what you call it, it opens.
Yes.
It opens.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
is there going to be a jump scare that opens?
But then again, like I don't know, because with Five Nights at Freddy's 4, when that was first teased, we thought the same thing, that there was people in the suits, didn't we?
Yeah.
But it just turned out to be nightmare animatronics. Like they were just like depictions of nightmares.
Yes.
So I'm not saying obviously this is a nightmare, but maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe it's an upgrade from Five Nights at Freddy's where it's an animatronic. Who knows at this point? Who knows?
I think the whole 5-finger thing might be like just a new direction design Scott's going with it. Because, I mean, like you guys saying it's a spring lock suit as well. Taking a closer look at the fingers, if you look, there's like these ball joints, which to me means it's completely robotic, this character. Because, you know, it'd be a bit more difficult to...
Springtrap had those finger joints
as well.
Yeah.
Okay, it's an interesting one. It's like, it's going to be one of those things which will be highly debated until release, but I don't know, man. I just think like the way this animatronic seems to be more kind of like oval. It looks a lot more kind of rounded rather than like, you know, kind of broad, and I think it's got to be a small child because the head size to this one in proportion to the body, it seems to really align nearly identical, in my opinion, to Balloon Boy, but as I said, that's just my opinion.
It's definitely a more humanoid shape. It's
Yeah.
not a rabbit or that. He's definitely going along the human line, so maybe that's why it does have the 5 fingers.
Yes.
Either way, it's absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, especially because of the brand spanking new look of it.
Yeah.
It's the toy.
See,
I think we can suspect it's of the toy era. That's the same sort of design
but-
they've gone for with this one.
yeah, this is what I was thinking though. You know, all the Springtrap, the old Springlock suits. Well, I was thinking that these are new toy Springlock costumes, which have been invented, if that makes sense.
Well,
Okay.
it does make sense because they did in the Sister Location. The first time we heard of this was because of the multiple Springlock failures in a Sister Location. So there has to be somewhere in this location or in this game, if it's set at the same time that was referenced, there has to be Springlock malfunctions in this place.
Alright,
So there has to be Springlock suits.
Which goes on to the next point of what people have been talking about in the reflection of
yes.
Baby's nose, is that a lot of people have been saying that they can see a reflection of Springtrap.
Yes, yeah, I've seen that comment quite a lot. It's a hard one to really like depict though, because of course the nose isn't like a completely flat surface, isn't like a mirror. It's gonna, it's gonna warp and distort whatever we're seeing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, when Scott teases things, they're not quite that subtle. I don't think. I think it would have made it a little bit more obvious, maybe like a reflection down the side of the face, personally. But I actually want to quickly go back to the whole Balloon Boy thing, because another 2 points I want to reference is, number one, the most obvious thing in the background is nothing but balloons. And a second one is like, if you go back, like a lot of people are saying this is definitely the FNAF 2 era, and it seems to be kind of cemented. You see, everyone's kind of agreeing for the most part. Now, Balloon Boy is like the one character who we still don't have a proper explanation for. He's like the one character, and we've got to think back, like me and Other Ryan were discussing this earlier on as well.
Yeah.
Like, think about FNAF 3, we've got the Balloon Boy graveyard. Like, what the heck does that... We still don't know what that means. So, it's almost like he's had the Sister Location planned out since the very beginning. And, Balloon Boy is not an adult. We've got Baby, not an adult again. I don't know. That's my 2 cents, but we're still, it's all just got to be debates at the minute still.
Most of the names begin with B as well, like Ballora, and what was the other one? Bidabang.
Bidibab.
Yeah, Bidibab, you know.
So they are kind of like baby names.
Yeah, baby names, yeah.
So is this...
I was told that Ballora in particular, I know it's going off topic, but that sounds like a ballerina. So I was thinking, you know, music boxes, so sometimes have ballerinas in them.
Yes.
So someone, a fan actually said that. I think it was on Twitter or something like that.
Interesting point to raise.
So maybe that could be like their definition of the puppet, maybe. But that's just going off on a tangent there.
Still an interesting point to raise, though. Yeah.
It does. This location does seem to be more female, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
because
definitely.
if Funtime Foxy's in there, that's another female.
Yeah.
You know.
I guess we can move on now to the whole aspect of how it will play then, because like, I've got a few ideas, but I think the fact that Scott's choosing to work on this one for a lot longer, like we haven't got a release date, we're getting these teasers, and it looks like it's a more detailed thing. And the fact Scott said things about new mechanics, stuff like that. I think he's going to definitely orient these to more like female-based mechanics. I know that might sound ridiculous to say, but
no. Well, you've got the strong female lead. That's what this character is. It's got the, as we were saying off screen again, we were saying how she's holding a microphone.
Symbolism, isn't it?
Who held the microphone before? Who is telling everyone to remain in their seats? It's her. That's the person who's going to be starting the show for everyone.
Yeah.
And I did see a lot of people saying, how are you going to defeat these animatronics? Are you going to have to stay still for them to not recognize you? Because she's asking you to stay still or sit down or whatever. Is that how this is going to be? And they're going to maybe function like weeping angels. You can only move when they're not looking at you or whatever.
Well.
It's gonna, if they do stuff like that, it's going to be absolutely terrifying. But it is... I don't think it's going to be free roam, because I'm pretty sure Scott has already said it's going to be in Click Team again.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the program he's used to using, so it's going to be interesting to see what mechanics he does.
I just thought about this actually. Do you know Update 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deskman was in his seat.
Yeah.
So she went, please remain in your seat. Deskman was sitting on his seat, and he died.
Oh, she killed him.
Yeah.
So maybe we don't stay on our seat. Maybe that's what it is. She can't move very fast. So she's going so slowly, so she needs us to be sitting.
It's an interesting one, like, because we've got like how the mangle. It's safe to pretty much say I think the Funtime Fox is going to serve as some replica of Fox's mechanics with the hook and stuff.
I think that this game is set before FNAF 2 by a bit, and then Mangle's got Funtime Foxy's got Rector's stuff and got moved to the FNAF 2 location.
Place,
It was, or you never know. Yeah, I still think it's before FNAF 2, just by a bit. Or there could be 2 Funtime Foxes, but
well, FNAF 2 is still run down, wasn't it? The location. It wasn't brand spanking new. They did say it was on the tapes, but it's still never cleared up when the tapes were actually recorded, if you know what I mean.
It didn't look new. I mean, around the FNAF 2 location, there was wires all on the walls and stuff.
That's right.
From the tiny little bit of background we can see on this one, these balloons are up and about. How long? Balloons don't stay floaty. That's terrible language. Balloons don't stay full of air for very long, especially if they're helium like these look. Helium, if you've ever had a helium balloon of your own, some of them last a while, but they go into that small, like, raisin shape.
Yeah, they always shrivel.
Very, very quickly. So these look brand new. She looks brand new.
She does,
Not a scrape. Not a scrape on her.
And she looks like a perfect animatronic, I'd say. Yeah, like the kind of shell and like the whole material, it just looks so clean. It's pristine.
I think personally that the time zone is going to be, say, Five Nights at Freddy's still exists, but they're reopening a sister location, like brand new. So it's going to be like Five Nights at Freddy's 2, but it's going to be a sister location. So it's like, welcome to the opening of, you know, whatever the baby's Balorian's castle or whatever is going to be named.
Imagine if he uses that now. Imagine that was actually the name.
Baby's Balorian castle.
I think it's cool though, like, because as well, another thing I noticed on this image, I think I don't know if I'm going to call it or not yet, but he's removed Five Nights at Freddy's from this next teaser. So it's like he's now branching out of just the Five Nights at Freddy's and it makes me question, is Freddy even going to be in this one then? Because Five Nights at Freddy's, it's like...
Well, all you have is Funtime Freddy was a name that was copyrighted. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be in this game or in FNAF World.
Did we have a Funtime Freddy in FNAF World? Because that intrigued me.
No.
You see, that's interesting. Very interesting.
No Funtime Freddy yet.
I think all those animatronics what were copyrighted are going to be in this game.
Yeah, me too.
I think so.
Somehow, but it's just interesting how now, like, Five Nights at Freddy's isn't in the title, but we're still going to have Freddy, so maybe it's like in this sister location, it was like Freddy was still a part, but just not as important.
Yeah, there was a really interesting theory on Mangle, because Mangle's got 2 endoskeleton heads and stuff.
Yes, that's cool.
Have you seen that?
Great,
they've both been merged together, and that's why there's 2 heads and, like, parts and stuff.
The other one's smaller as well, isn't it?
Yep.
That's interesting.
It's all very, very... interesting. Did Scott not remove something else from a teaser image, and a lot of people went a bit crazy in the past? I think it was for Five Nights at Freddy's 4. He removed something and people were like, oh no, he shouldn't have done that, he's changing the direction, but he just said it was just to save space on the image.
Oh man,
so
did he?
Sister Location, rather than making it Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location, he's just shortening the name for now.
Kind of get...
If you know what I mean. It's
just,
because it would ruin the power, the punch of the image if it said Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location. It's a very long title, so just change it to Sister Location.
I see.
But, as you said, he might just be moving away from that. It's still going to be called Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location, but Freddy's no longer the main character. He can't call it Five Nights at Babies, if you know what I mean.
It wouldn't sound good. It wouldn't sound right.
Freddy's is a branding name. So he's going to be used the branding name, but it's going to... you know what I'm talking about. We'll find out what the location is called.
I think Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location sounds fine.
It does sound... Oh, no. I mean, the thing is, though, Update 2's given us more hints, like Fazburger, isn't it? It's like... That has no Freddy in the name. Fazburger is a totally unique thing in itself.
Yeah. And obviously because the company's called Fazbear Entertainment, isn't it?
Yes.
So it's like they're working off the Faz kind of thing.
It's a chain like Coca-Cola. They own Fanta, etc., etc. It's not just Coke. So it's all about branding, essentially. So the company... Fazbear Entertainment has all these extra places. I mean, if one place is successful, you want to branch out and try and make a little bit more of that fat milk money, you know what I'm saying? So you go ahead and you start all these other things out and you move on. It's good.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to our final segment for the evening. Evening. So nice saying that. Final segment of the evening, we're going to be talking about Five Nights at Freddy's World Update 3. Now, Ryan, I know you had a lot to say on it, my boy.
Yeah, because I just think, like, Update 3 is now... Well, now that he's kind of joined Baby in this realm, and, like, technically we didn't get the teaser of Baby before FNAF World Update 2, but it confirmed that this character we're seeing on the screen is definitely Baby because of the quote underneath. And, you know, the fact that Scott's now linking Update 2 in a different dimension with, like, the real dimension of the Sister Location, I figured it would be a really interesting thing for Scott to, like, almost release Update 3 maybe before, like, the Sister Location drops, because then it might give us, like, some subtle hints. Like, it's in a different dimension, but it might give us some small hints as to how the characters might work, I guess. And you know, it's just, like, I don't know, I'm really intrigued with the whole Update 3 thing and how, like, the creator, like, the one who everyone seems to be looking up to and is like, don't disturb him, he's working on something, but we're all on edge, is dead. He's like dead. He has no control over this realm, and yet we're left with these massive glowing eyes in the corner, and it's like, I honestly believe there is going to be an Update 3, and it's going to feature the whole of FNAF World in just an absolute destroyed state.
You can't just...
It makes you think if, like, he is going to reskin the whole, like, FNAF world
I think
into,
he is.
like, into, like, a destroyed kind of, like,
world,
post-apocalyptic state. And, who knows, maybe there's going to be, like, another platform, like, behind the Sister Location update or, well, Sister Location release or something like that, like... I don't know. I hope that he does entwine Update 3 with the Sister Location.
Oh, I think he's gonna. Like, he did say to be continued. Was that the one? It was to be continued, or along those lines. And yes, he was probably hinting at Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location, but it's in Five Nights at Freddy's world.
Yes.
So that one would assume quite rightly as well that Five Nights at Freddy's 3 Update 3 is going to be Five Nights at Freddy's World Update 3 is going to be coming out at some point.
Yeah, you can't just end FNAF World like that.
No,
you can't kill the creator and just
do it.
flatline.
There's going to be something. I would like to see, like, it come back where you see the Deathman dead, but then you see Baby come on the screen and she talks a bit, and then you get kicked out, and then you see Fred there, and he's like, "Look at the world," and it's all like wrecked and stuff, and you have to save the day again and do some really... I think it's going to be dark, though.
Yes.
I think it's going to be like Foxy.exe, but like everywhere.
That'll be so
good.
I think, like... as FNAF World has been updated, it's just got darker and darker as it's gone along, and it's like... I think the final update will literally just leave, like, images, nightmares inside little children's heads. I don't know, Scott has this great thing where it's like... It's very simple, but it's very effective, and it's horrible. Like Five Nights at Freddy's, it's simple, but it's effective. It's freaking awesome.
Backing that up as well, like, I think the most important thing to say is, like, FNAF World was a kid-friendly game, but there's freaking blood at the end of it. Like, what? It's like, this man is like, he's been killed, obviously, quite barbarically for there to be blood everywhere. But, you know, I just think, like, Update 3 could be this really spectacular thing. Like, this Update 2 for me has been, like, it's really grown on me, like FNAF World has as a whole, just because it's, like, I don't know, now it's linking the games together, so it's almost like giving us teasers about how the characters might be. And, like, another important thing as well is that we know that Update 3 is going to be pretty much centralized, or at least maybe the final boss of Update 3 is going to be Baby. And it also gave us the hint as well about, like, you know, we said the microphone, this character's important. We know it's important because only Baby gets mentioned at the end of Update 2, and we're left with this massive cliffhanger with just the baby there. So this is the main protagonist. So
definitely.
It's like without Five Nights at Freddy's World Update 2 ending, we wouldn't know who this animatronic was. We'd still be in the dark for it. So Scott's using that as a vessel for his other games as well.
And it's just fantastic.
Fair enough, they might not be canon as such, but he's still using them to introduce new characters. It's amazing the way he's doing it, and you could tell with Update 2 the love he has for just game creation in itself. He's doing this for free, and he has put so much effort into that. It was really entertaining, if rage worthy at times.
Definitely.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Theory Thursday. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, then please hit that like button. It really, really is appreciated. 8-Bit Gaming and Doko, their channels will be down in the description below, as well as the boys' side channels, their side projects, because if you didn't already know, Ryan and other Ryan actually have their individual gaming channels, and they're drop dead gorgeous, so go and check them out. Let us know if you would like to see this as a recurring series, because I think we all had great fun here today, and let us know your theories down in the comment section below. But either way, guys, I've been Razzbowski, you've been the beautiful bastards, as always, for watching, and I love each and every single one of you. Goodbye!